2025. First on the agenda is a roll call.
Mr. Capron,
Here.
Mr. Lundy,
Here.
Mr. Wilsey,
Here.
Mr. Rhodes,
Here.
Mr. Beto, Mr. Youngblood,
Here.
Mr. Caruth, Ms. Faber. That's
Thank you. Next on the list, a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Can I get approval of the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Been approved and seconded. All those say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Hearing none, passed unanimous. I don't see any public comment. Well, I guess communications, what's that? Okay, we're all good. Okay, person to be heard, no one. Unfinished business? I see none. New business? Anybody have any new business? Okay, no new business. Director's report.
I will read the director's report real quick. I'm sure we've all had a chance to look at it, so I'll just hit the highlights. The Yacht Club, as you know, we've been working on getting a lease agreement redone with the Yacht Club. Essentially what we did is met with the borough or the city attorney. He came up with a bunch of questions that we gave to the Yacht Club. They had a meeting and they have since sent me responses to all those questions. They've been sent back to the city attorney and the city manager, and those will be addressed, and hopefully we'll be moving forward with the new lease. Bar Harbor North dredging, that project has been completed, and that turned out quite well. Temp assistant, harbor master, and temp maintenance positions, they're out on the street. We're slowly getting those folks hired up. Matter of fact, I think we had one return harbor master and one temp worker that is back, and that paperwork's been put in. What else we have here? Knutson Parking, Mr. Wilson, the harbor operations coordinator is currently working with SignPro to address the additional signage, as well as marking off handicap parking in the lower lot. If you look in your package, you'll see an enclosure one. That's kind of the breakdown of the signage that we're going to put there. I think we just wanted to make sure that you folks were happy with that signage and had a chance to look at it. And Mr. Wilson will also re-engage with Mr. Mark Shuffle, who originally brought this up, and we'll discuss that as well with him. The Mountain Point boat launch, as you know, last time we had a public concern that was raised over the condition of Mountain Point. After a lot of conversation and back and forth, as you know, there are multiple people in play here that own different parts of the boat launches. So what I'd like to do is, with the FAB board's concurrence, I'd like to draft a memo to the city council and mayor to request clarification from the state DOT, the borough, and state DNR concerning the parking lots at both Mountain Point and Knutson. And it would be helpful if we had the FAB's concurrence to do so. And that's it for the harbors. Port, Berth 1 ride pile update. I can give you an update right now. We've awarded that contract, and we have Alaska commercial divers working on that as we speak. And that's getting taken care of for the upcoming cruise season. The promenade abutment stabilization, I just finished doing a final inspection of that this morning. I can report that that work went quite well and it's completed and ready for the season. Assistant Port Operations Coordinator, I've got an update since then as well. We do have a new Assistant Port Operations Coordinator that'll be starting in about a week or so. Temporary summer workers, Mr. Bisson, the Port Operations Coordinator, has put the summer temp positions out for hire over the last few months, and I can report that all of those positions are pretty much filled. We're finishing up the last little bit of some background checks, and we should be good to go for the summer help out on the port. Port crane, the port crane is currently down. It is still down. We're finding out there's a little more in depth than we initially thought. I've got a hydraulic technician that we're going to bring up from Seattle to have a look at the crane and hopefully get that up and running. So I'm hoping within the end of March we'll have something completely done and that thing will be back and running, as long as we don't find some discovery that we don't know about. The port survey inspections, berth 1 through 4. We brought a professional engineering firm up, and they've just completed that survey. I'm expecting in the next couple of weeks we'll have the completed report, and it'll kind of spell out the true condition of the survey and any kind of work that needs to be done in the future. So I can report that the survey is done. We're still waiting for the report. Last little bit, Port and Harbor staff continue to prepare for the upcoming summer season, as well to day-to-day operations at port and harbors. Port security temp workers have been hired for the season. Temp assistant harbor masters, maintenance workers are being scheduled for interviews, and or we brought some back, as I just mentioned. And the Marine Administration federal grant applications continue to be revised and prepared for resubmittals for the port berth corrosion and cathodic protection repairs for calendar year 2025. So that is all on track and moving forward. And that is my report.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question, not
Yes, sir.
specific to this, but the pump out station at the bottom of the ramp by the VFW has been down for a really long time. Is it still, I didn't really look, is it still down? And if so, what's the plan for getting that fixed?
I believe it is still down. Is that correct?
Yeah,
James?
well, there isn't one below the VFW, it's below the office. But that's scheduled to be replaced this spring.
Over on that side, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be replaced this spring.
This spring?
Yeah, with a brand new one.
Anyone else?
I have a couple things. I'm wondering, since Mr. Phillips is requesting a motion, new businesses before the director's report, could we change the agenda maybe to put the director's report for new business? I'm just, yeah.
So give us some ideas.
In case there's anything that needs to be brought up, otherwise I guess we technically have to revert back to new business or maybe not.
Do we have to, we might have to give advance notice, like, I think you, like, the the part of future agenda items, we can bring things up, but I don't think we can put things on agenda the night of, because you have to give public notice in case.
Yeah, but so
So the agenda has to be published to the public ahead of time.
we wouldn't be making a motion for the memo tonight to,
I think technically that you're supposed to put stuff on the
Yeah, I think you're right.
agenda ahead of time so that if there's someone mad about something, they can show up and yell at us, so.
right, I understand that. I'm just looking at the report though, it's with FAB board's concurrence. Maybe we don't need a motion, maybe just a show of hands.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What do you need?
I don't know what the protocol is, honestly, but I think what I need, I don't think anybody, I don't know if the public would be upset if we just said, hey, we'd like to send a memo. We talked about this, we'd like to send a memo to council and the mayor just to bring this issue up to them. I think it brings more support if it's the FAB agrees.
Right.
I can certainly do a memo, but I would like to have the concurrence of the FAB board behind me to say, hey, this makes sense. And we've got some issues there and we'd like to get this clarified.
What's the goal there? Is it just to determine who owns what?
Pretty much. Let's determine who owns what and who's doing what,
It's a lot.
because there's a lot of that.
I mean, that director's report was published
Right.
with the agenda, so.
Right.
So would it be appropriate to make a motion?
I don't see
I
why
think all
not.
you really have to do is do a 4 a.m.s to give.
Yeah, I would
direction
think so.
To proceed.
So you can request a show of hands that
Oh, okay,
in favor of him drafting a memo, right?
okay. All those in favor?
There you
Unanimous.
go.
Thank you.
And I also had a question on parking enforcement at Mountain Point and Newton Cove. It says 72 hours. Who enforces that?
We actually have the harbor masters. They, when they do the rounds, they'll go out, they keep an eye on things. They do actually, in fact, put warnings on cars and tell them to move them. And occasionally they'll actually ticket a car.
Oh, so they have that capability?
Mhm.
I guess no different than having your trailer without a launch permit, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So the harbor master has that authority.
Mhm.
But they also call it tow truck.
Now that I don't know. I don't think so.
No,
I
okay.
can't even get a tow truck in town.
Don't you have to pay first now? Like if they tell you,
Oh,
you have to
probably,
pay. Yeah,
Probably,
at the Salvation Army, like we tried to get a few cars towed, like that was sitting
sure.
on the side on
Blocking you.
Thomas side.
Uh-huh.
And it had like a cracked windshield and tires and had been there. And we called the towing company and we have to pay for them to come and tow it. Which Seattle was different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Anything else?
That's all I have.
I have a question on the yacht club. What are they leasing? Is there a footprint down there that says this finger float
Yes.
is the yacht club?
Yeah, you see the little building down in Thomas Basin? That's the yacht club.
And how much does that encompass?
It encompasses the footprint of that plus a finger, right? And then it's in front of it.
Float too? Okay. Could maybe going forward, you could email us a picture of that, just to clarify in my head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What that entails,
Sure,
what we're leasing.
Do they pay for that?
they do.
Are we increasing their lease? Is that why there's? a
I
back and
think
forth, or-
we're looking into that.
Okay.
You know, it's pretty minimal lease.
Mhm.
It's been a traditional, I think it's been a $1 lease for a long
Oh,
time.
Okay.
But they do, and James, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that when they rent portions of that dock, we get money out of that. Is that?
They
true
pay
statement?
mortgage rates.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
whatever the size of the stalls are, they pay that mortgage rate for that space. For the clubhouse, they take up 2 mortgage spaces, so they pay for 2 mortgage stalls. So just like if it was 2 boats sitting there. So we get the same amount of money whether we operate it or they operate.
so if the stall's empty, there's no revenues change hands?
No, they still have.
They
to
still pay us.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
what,
they put people in the stalls, they take care of their own, we
okay,
get what stalls. But they pay for every single stall.
whether it's full or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. That was my question.
And do they pay for the upkeep of it?
They pay for the upkeep of their building.
Who's
They're
the
supposed to
company?
take care of all minor things, we take care of all the major, like the main floats, the
Right.
pilings. Just like if it was anywhere else in the harbor.
Do they so they do like the pressure washing and that kind of stuff?
Oh,
Who's the Commodore of the yacht club now?
That I do not know. That I do not
So
know.
who are we negotiating with?
The whole board.
Yeah,
Other board?
yeah.
does that also encompass the Coast Guard Auxiliary? Are they part of that?
That's separate.
Total separate?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I went down and checked the boat last week and, I got to meet a couple of new harbor masters that were fishing out shopping carts.
Yep.
So we sat there, we had while they were still working, they didn't stop, but trying to make a discussion of what we could do to maybe mitigate some of that. Cause I've physically or personally watched the wind blow them in the water. They all stack them at the bottom of the ramp right there at Harbor Master or Harbor South. And we were discussing it, maybe if there's a way we could put some kind of sections of railing in there to mitigate some of that. I mean, I don't know any other way to do it, but it gets to be a problem. I mean, these poor boys spent a whole day pulling out with a grappling hook on a minus tide.
And there's harbor carts that go down there too.
Yes, they're a little harder to pull up,
Absolutely.
but it's not like it's a malicious thing that I've noticed, the people dumping them over. Most of all of it that I've seen is get a huge blast of wind down there and they just flip these things right in the bay.
They're supposed to bring them back. I mean, that's the deal. They're
Yeah.
supposed to use the harbor cart, take it down, unload their thing, and then bring it back to the top of the ramp. That's what's supposed to happen. So what we do is, every day, the harbor masters are around, they're doing their rounds. They bring up carts all the time. We try to remind people to bring them back up, but that's, sometimes chasing your tail. And unless we put railing all the way around every finger, I don't know how we could preclude and mitigate all of it. We might be able to mitigate some.
You are, but the biggest area where they're fishing them out of the water is right at the base of the ramp, where
Yeah.
people bring them back and just park them.
Right.
And it seemed to me that 99% of them were Safeway shopping carts.
Yeah.
Ever since they took the brakes off the Safeway,
They come down. Yeah.
they've increased.
Yeah, we can
It's just
certainly
something
look.
to
I'll
think
talk to the
about. I
main,
mean, it's
I'll
not
talk to the
high on
maintenance
priority
folks.
list, but if there was just something we could do, even if we could make a catch, like they have up at the Safeway, where you bring them, park them in a garage,
Maybe we could get Safeway to bring one of theirs and put it over there at the top of the ramp. I mean, it costs them money to lose the cart, so.
Oh,
If they-
these boys they had 15 of them there that one morning when I was there, and that wasn't all.
And I'm sure those things aren't,
Can't
I'm
be
sure they're surprisingly expensive or, never really thought about it.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's something. But
Make them so they float.
Put a bunch of pool noodles on the,
yeah, I was thinking those blow up life vest thing. They go in the water, they blow up, they float.
there you go.
Only 150 a pop. So.
Right.
Anything else?
Has the mayor appointed a city council rep?
I have not heard of any name yet. I think they might be waiting till they get the final replacement for Mr. Flora. So my guess is that's what they're waiting on, is once they get a replacement, then they'll figure out who's gonna be on the board.
I did talk to the mayor and gave him an idea that these gentlemen pressed on to me, and he did not give a timeline. But that was like the day after our last meeting, so it's a month ago.
Yeah.
And I can check again.
It all rests on you, Russell.
We're in trouble. Okay, next on the list is future agenda items. This is where you have some.
Well, with regards to the director's report and new business, I wonder if we couldn't switch those. And then we could do formal motion. I mean, because I know when we get the director's report, it brings up some questions and maybe some actions that need to be taken.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure what Eric said, that you can't bring something to the table and vote on it that night.
Right.
I'm pretty sure about that. I mean, every other
Okay.
board I've sat on, and
Yeah.
it's not really the way it,
Right.
supposed to
I
be
agree.
done.
I agree.
Can I say something?
yes,
The future agenda, that would be the new business for the next meeting. So if we do a future agenda today, it will be new business for next meeting.
Okay, yeah,
That's
makes
why-
sense. Sure.
I think too, like, I don't think it's like, if you don't think of something tonight, you can still have it put on the agenda just before.
Sure.
I don't know what, I think it's like, is it 2 days? There's a certain amount of notice period, but it's not very much. It's like a couple days or something.
Yeah, I usually, you know,
Send schedule Thursday today meeting to be posted that weekend. So about a week.
About a week.
a week before the meeting,
Okay,
put something on.
we'll remember that. And we can always go to May.
Absolutely.
Okay, do we have any board member comments?
You want to go down the,
If you want, yeah, we can start, if anybody has something to say here, start to my right. Hi. You didn't miss
Linda Faber, I'm sorry I was late, and then I got
Okay.
stuck in the parking lot. I would have been in here 3 minutes earlier.
Oh, man,
Um,
that was, all you missed was the pledge
Oh, dang it.
and a roll
It's my
call.
favorite part.
These two, right?
So yeah, I think I caught up on everything. I don't have any questions. The one that popped up about other people asked, and then I asked what I needed, so I think I'm okay. Yeah. Thank you.
If you have any questions, we can always ask me.
I have nothing.
thanks to staff and all of you.
Thank you.
That dredging project is not really 100% completed because they still have 3 finger floats to move.
Well, the dredging project's done. The finger floats, that's our
I
guys.
wish they moved for
That's
the
our
dredging.
guys.
Yeah,
So they were working on that today.
I know.
Apparently they didn't get it done, so I expect that to get done the next day or so.
Good weather tomorrow and
Yeah,
Thursday.
it
so
look-
they'll
it should
probably
get done.
finish it up.
Yep.
I noticed some of them were damaged fairly badly. I don't know if they can put them back the way they are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hearing nothing else, meeting's adjourned.
You did a fine job.
Excellent job.
Good job.